We're going to talk about what happened last night. How many of us didn't get any sleep? How many of us were checking our phones, laptops, tablets, or whatever devices you use to see if there were any updates? I know I was. For someone, that lives across the world, to a lot of us, for a stranger that we'll never meet because we care. And we were worried. A lot of us were going from channel to channel to channel, different communities, to see if there was an update on Pesky. And, here's the thing. I seen the community post and that she made. And I like Pesky. Pesky has made comments. I believe she's still subbed to me, or was subbed. I think her channel is gone now because she made a comment just yesterday on one of my videos. And the comment is gone. And I tried to find her channel and I can't find it. So I think her channel is gone. But I've always liked Pesky. And what I want to talk about is when Pesky was, I think she was a mod for Granny's Watching. Don't quote me on that. But I know she was a friend of hers, and she was, in her community, and they had a falling out. And no other communities liked Pesky because she was in Granny's Watching's community. They didn't like Pesky until Granny's Watching and her had a falling out. And then all of a sudden, everybody likes her. And this is how it is in this drama community, right? People don't like certain people until they have a falling out with their quote enemy. And then all of a sudden they have open arms and they like and they care about this person. This happens everywhere. Everywhere. Hate bonding, is that what you call it? Because your feelings about a person, okay, does not change overnight or within an hour or 2 hours. That doesn't happen in real life. If you don't like somebody, okay, you don't care about them, or you don't like what they do or what they have to say or how they act, it doesn't change at the snap of a finger. All these people, they start liking somebody or disliking somebody because of a falling out, or if they join certain communities and stuff like that. That it's insane. Okay, it's insane how things happen in the drama community and true crime. I mean, might as well take true crime out of this. The drama community, like I said, you cannot change your feelings on a person like people do. And maybe that's why I don't ever want to belong to a community. There are people that I like that are in different communities. I like them as a person. I might not know them, right, because they're on social media. And even if they are never like go live, but just how they conduct themselves when they're maybe chatting, or they make comments, or even when they go live, it doesn't matter who, and I'm talking about, let's say that they're just subs, okay? It doesn't matter who their creator is. It doesn't matter. I like them because of who they are. And it's not going to change. I'm not going to flip on them and my feelings towards them just because of who their creator or who they follow or what community that they're in. And same as creators. There are certain people that actually, with all creators, I've already said before that I see good in all the creators, and there are certain things about creators that I've already listened to that I like, and then there are certain things about their behavior that I don't like. But it doesn't mean that I totally just can't stand them and I hate them, because I don't know these people, okay? So I can't say, oh my gosh, I hate you. I might not like their behavior, and some of the behavior is absolutely disgusting, okay? But this, like I said, you can't flip your feelings on a person overnight, and welcome them with open arms just because they left a person that you couldn't stand, or flip your feelings and say, I can't stand this person anymore, when they were a part of your community because your creator had a falling out with them, and all of a sudden you don't like them anymore. Then that friendship that you supposedly had was completely fake, okay? Never real, because this wouldn't happen in real life, and it doesn't happen in real life. That's not how real friendship is, all right? So it's totally fake. So we're going to get through that. Like I said, that's probably why I never wanted to be a part of a community and never will be, because I do like a lot of different people and they belong in different communities, and I don't care what community they belong to. I like the person for who they are, not for what community they're in. So now going from there, Jessica did show some things because Pesky was saying some things about her. And this is what happens when the creators and their mods, or creators and their friends, have a falling out. It happens in this drama community. They go tit for tat, back and forth. It happens in all of the communities, okay, with creators. One says one thing, the other one has to prove that person wrong because they're being talked about, and the other one has to say, hey, no, that's not how it happened, and here's my proof, because they're going all over to these other communities, my quote hate channels, and saying this and that, and no, that's not how it happened, this is how it happened, and this is why. And Jessica, Granny's Watching, was showing just a few things that I can remember where Pesky was, I guess it was some emails, a little bit of emails, where she was saying, and I'm not doing it word for word, okay, where she was, being kind of hateful, and then she would apologize. I'm really sorry. I don't know why I did or said or whatever that I did. And you could see where Jessica Lynn would say, that's okay, whatever. And that happened quite often. So there came a point in time, and I don't know the whole backstory. I don't need to know it. It's none of my business. But there came a point in time where Jessica Lynn basically cut her off and said, enough is enough. I'm done. Okay? And in my opinion, this really hurt Pesky. Okay? And she was not welcome in the community anymore, or she was told, to move on. And Jessica's already put it out there that she is also, she's dealing with her own recovery, as well as Pesky, as well as a lot of people that I've noticed in the drama community. And she felt that with her own recovery that she just couldn't deal with this back and forth with Pesky. All right. So she decided it was better just to cut ties. And Pesky did go over to, the quote, enemy channels. And we see that, like I said, we see that all the time. Okay, it's nothing new. And I do know that, when Jessica was having her breakup, Pesky went over to the man's side. Okay, now think about this in real life. Let's think about this. You say you have a good friend, okay, your BFF, and you have a breakup. I don't give a crap if it's an internet breakup, because there's some people out there, right, that started their relationship on the internet, and they've put it out there that they've met their significant other on the net. So let's not judge about that. But say you have your BFF, okay, and you have this breakup, no matter if it was a month, 2 years, whatever, all right, and you're hurting. And your BFF is not there for you, but decides to start talking to the person that you had this breakup with, knowing that this person is also dogging you. Say, like I said, we're talking if it's in real life, not on the internet. They're dogging you to all these other people, okay, that kind of know you, acquaintances, and saying all this gross stuff or whatever. And your BFF is going over to their house or going over to their get-togethers and hanging out with them. How would you feel? Or what would you think? That's kind of the scenario I'm getting at here, okay? And in my opinion, I think Pesky still wanted to be back in Jessica's community. Deep down, she wanted that friendship again. But Jessica did not want that because of whatever the past behaviors were. It was not healthy. Sometimes in real life, we're talking again, we have friendships that aren't healthy. All right? They're not. And we have to cut that off. I had to do that as well with a longtime friend. We were friends since kindergarten. It was not healthy. She's an alcoholic. It got cut off on social media to begin with over something really stupid, but it was not a healthy friendship anymore. So sometimes we do have to do that. Again, I seen Pesky talking about Jessica Lynn elsewhere continuously, making jabs, okay? And Jessica Lynn, tit for tat, back and forth. This is not how it happened. You don't understand what we talked about personally and stuff like that. Back and forth. This is not, like I said, nothing new when a creator and their mod or friend or whatever have a falling out. We've seen Natasha do it. We see other creators do it. This is what happens. But here's the thing. And like I said, I like Pesky. It doesn't matter who she has a falling out with, whose community she joins. I still like her. Because I don't have a beef with anybody. And I liked her for her. Okay? I liked her comments in my videos. I didn't care where she went or what community she belonged to. It didn't matter to me. Now, we're going to talk about the double standards because I'm getting fed up with the damn double standards here. She made this community post. All right? And Jessica Lynn is getting blamed for it because she did mention Jessica Lynn's name in it. And I was watching a little bit of Jessica Lynn's her live, and I was going back and forth because we're all wanting to know, is she okay? Is she okay? And you can tell that Jessica Lynn was upset. She was crying because this is being put on her. This is absolutely being put on her. Could you imagine what it would feel like to have that put on you? I've already gave my story about my children and what their father did in front of them. Okay? That's something that they are dealing with too in counseling. Blaming themselves for what he did in front of them. Not only are they blaming themselves, but their uncle, his father, or his brother, I'm sorry. And I did say, I think in my last video, the first night, or when they had to tell him, and he lives in my state, he was blaming them, knowing that their father has had mental issues for years when I was married to him. Okay? He was very abusive. But he also had some mental issues. And the brother knew it. The whole family knew it. But he was blaming my children, threatening my children. My children had to call the police, living in a different state. They stayed up all night. Not only were they traumatized by their father passing away. That's a big thing there, okay? And then traumatized by it being suicide. But then traumatized a third time because he did it in front of them. All right? But now they have the blame, what could I have done, How could we have stopped this? Is it our fault? But then their uncle was saying, you pushed him to this. And they still got that blame. They got anger. They have all those emotions going on. Now, everything's fine with the uncle, and I think I said that in my last video. Everything's fine with the uncle now. But that first night, my children were staying up, called the police. The police were patrolling because their uncle's a little nuts in the head too. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way for people suffering from mental illness. When I mean nuts, we'll just leave it at that, okay? But my son-in-law, he was sleeping with his gun beside him. I mean, this is how crazy it got, where they shouldn't have had to deal with that. So the reason why I said that is because, or why I'm talking about that is to put something like that on to somebody else, okay? Can somebody be pushed to self-harm themselves? Yes, they can. I'll give you a few examples, okay? Someone that's in an abusive relationship, I've already said that, I'm a survivor of domestic violence from the one who just killed himself, okay? I remember that I couldn't seem to get out. I tried and tried and tried, and this man would stalk me, all right? No matter what I did. He would threaten my family if I ever left him, or when I tried to leave him. I'm not going to get into all the details of what this man did, but I felt that there was no other way out, and I just couldn't handle the abuse. And that's the only time that I ever thought of self-harming myself. It wasn't that I was, how do I say, I was depressed, but it wasn't that I had, it wasn't a mental illness for myself. It was, I didn't see any other way out to get out of that situation. I was young too. So I was depressed because of the situation I was in. But the thing that kept me going were my children. My children would be left with this man, right? They wouldn't have their mom to fight for them. That's what kept me going. That's the only time I ever thought about self-harming myself. So yes, in that aspect, I feel like people can be pushed, like when you're in a situation like that, when you feel like there is just no way out. We have children that are being bullied at school. We're hearing about 11 and 12-year-olds that are self-harming themselves, committing suicide because of the bullying. They feel like they have no way out. They can't take the bullying anymore. But their brains are not even developed yet at that age to think rationally. So those are some examples that I want to give on being pushed. All right. We have, kids, teenagers that are being bullied in school. They have to go to school. Okay. It's the law. They have to go to school. So, they might tell a teacher or whatever, but they're afraid of the repercussions of their bullies. They might not have the best parents at home, or they might not have supportive parents or whatever to be able to talk to about this. And they feel like there's no way out. So these bullies can be pushing them to end their lives because they don't see a way out. Now we have some people that have mental health issues, okay? And with mental health issues, sometimes, all right, people fight their own demons. And there is help out there. There absolutely is. But some people won't accept that help. And they think they can do it on their own. in some, they just can't do it on their own. And they choose to end their life because the hurt that they're feeling is so overwhelming and it is so powerful. But that's nobody else's fault, okay? Mental health and depression is so real. That's nobody else's fault, okay? That is something that has been going on in that person that has nothing to do with anybody else. We're talking about something totally different than bullying or, being pushed or whatever. That is something that's been going on inside of that person for a while. Now we're going to talk about YouTube, all right? Can somebody be pushed over the edge on YouTube? This is a hard one. There's a lot of people that are blaming Granny's Watching for what happened. These same people that are doing it, a lot of them, and some might not like what I'm saying, but are coming from Natasha's community. Now, Natasha herself has said over and over and over again, I'm not responsible for any of your all's mental health. Because a lot of people have said that Natasha has almost pushed them over the edge. And those were her exact words. I'm not responsible for your mental health. If you can't handle it, log off. Those were her words, not mine. I'm not responsible for your mental health. But yet, I am seeing a lot of people in her community are putting the blame on Granny's Watching and saying this is your fault. All right? You can't have it two ways because Natasha has also dragged people. This happens in the drama community, okay? I'm not putting anything on Natasha here. I am saying she has dragged people as well. So what would have happened if one of those people, we're going to use Siren. Sorry, Siren. We're going to use you. Okay? That message that she put out there when Siren called her very upset, all right? Very upset. And she put it out publicly for everybody to hear. What if Siren would have made a community post that he was so embarrassed, he was so upset that the world heard that message at his weakest point, and because of Natasha, he was just going to end it all. And then the same thing happened what happened last night. Would her community be saying, this is your fault, Natasha? Would the same outrage be happening that's happening to Granny's Watching right now? Because Natasha did, and a lot of people in her community, drug Siren for the longest time, making fun of him, okay? Making fun of his looks, his makeup, his singing, told him that nobody liked him, not just in YouTube, but in real life, he had no friends. Made fun of his house, was talking about his daughter, that he needed to worry about his child, which I'm getting really sick and tired of children being mentioned. I really am. We're talking about bed bugs. People even made their avatar into, they were called Siren's bed bugs. Drug him for the longest time, talking about his Google eyes. Everybody hated him. And then I seen Siren came back. Everybody loved him again. And now he's gone again. Now everybody does not like him again. And they're talking about him and his bed bugs again. Calling him bed bugs, googly eyed, all sorts of names. Again, they love him. They hate him. You know, that flip flop back and forth. You know, we can switch it on and off like that on who we like and who we don't like. Our feelings. So what if Siren would go and make a community post and say, you know, you guys have drugged me so much and I'm so depressed because of, you know, I just can't handle it anymore. And did the same thing that happened last night. Where would the outrage be? There wouldn't be any in that community. They would be saying, well, you know, we're not responsible for your mental health. That's what would be said. And you guys know it. I'm about the truth, okay? And the reason why I know that to be a fact is because Jessica Lynn did make a post. I I think this is when her grandmother died. Or in that time frame that she was done, and she didn't, it wasn't this, it wasn't the same kind of post, but it said something kind of like, what if you guys drove me to want to hurt myself or to self-harm because of all the dragging and everything? And she took her channel down for a little bit. The people in that community made content out of it and made fun of her and laughed. Okay? It was funny. They weren't worried. There was no, I hope she's okay. There was no anything because it was Jessica Lynn. See, that's the thing. Now, what would have happened? What would have happened if Jessica Lynn did self-harm? If she did something to herself, would it have been because of the other communities? Because of the things that they say about her? Now, what would happen if Natasha would do the same because of what's going on right now? Would it be everybody, the other community's fault because she's going through what she's going through? Would they say that it is everybody else's fault? And then we have CJ. CJ is the one that reached out, and CJ is the one that called the proper authorities to do the wellness check. Okay? And CJ, thank you for caring. All right? Because while you have a bunch of people fighting back and forth making this content and still dragging, calling names, okay? Bashing. Because, you know, you can't learn a lesson from this at all. No. CJ, she's doing the right thing and actually doing something. And then CJ, I seen CJ in Granny's live just real quick in chat, just saying, I called and given updates. And I don't know, CJ might have been popping into people's chats. I'm not sure. Just giving an update. Okay? I don't think CJ's going to go over to Natasha's new channel that she made. I did go over to Natasha's new channel. And there was somebody that popped in there, didn't say anything bad, and automatically somebody was ugly to him and said, "What are you doing over here?" Okay? So CJ, I'm sure, wouldn't have popped in there to give any updates, okay? Because CJ probably wouldn't have been welcome. So CJ is giving updates. And also in that chat, or in another chat, I'm not even sure what chat because I was popping in and out too to find out if there was any updates. And somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, CJ went to Granny's chat to give an update? Why? Seriously?" CJ's the one that did the right thing. I know a lot of people were reaching out, trying to by phone and by email. And one thing that I can say is it looks like that all the communities at least came together and were sending prayers and well wishes to Pesky. So I hope Pesky knows that she is loved and she's being prayed for. Now, I don't know if they said that help was sent and she was offered the help. I don't know if she actually went, okay? But she was offered, so I'm not sure. But I hope she knows that many, many people were making videos for prayers for her. She should know that the love is out there for her. But this cannot be put on somebody. Because with YouTube, okay? YouTube, you can unplug from YouTube. You can't in real life. YouTube, if it gets too much, if people are being too nasty, you don't watch. You unplug. Get off of YouTube. That's when enough is enough. If it's affecting your mental health, if it's affecting your family, then enough is enough. And, this is only a small circle here, right? There are other types of communities out there on YouTube, other platforms or whatever, that people can go to and maybe find a kinder circle than this. Because I don't even know what I'm going to do because I don't like it here. I don't like this circle anymore. The blame being put, a lot of blame being put on Jessica is not right. Because a lot of people do not know what went behind the scenes, and including myself. Like I said, some things were put out there that we see, all right? No different than what Natasha does, only she puts it all out there when somebody leaves her, okay? So, people that have left her, and she puts stuff out there, just like she's doing on Parker, okay? What if Parker made this same post, like what happened last night? Could we put that blame on Natasha? But again, people in the drama community are going to drag each other, right? They're going to take jabs at each other. This is no different. But I have not, what I seen was some of Pesky, going to different communities that were against Jessica and saying things. And I did see Jessica trying to defend herself to show that's not what's said. She didn't put it all out there. I mean, is that she's kind of caught in a catch-22, really, because if she puts out all of the behind-the-scenes emails to prove, this is what was going on, is she going to be a bad person for doing that because of the situation Pesky's in? But would that clear her to show, hey, this is the reason why I had to cut ties? I mean, she already did a little bit. And it did show that she had good cause to want to cut ties. I mean, you can cut ties with anybody for any reason. That's your choice. You're a grown adult. But what happened last night could be said about any creator that is dragging people or making fun of them, making fun of their looks, or putting out their personal information or their personal business that has been told to them when they were, quote, friends, and then they had a falling out. And then they have to put out everything that was told to them or their personal business. That would make somebody really want to self-harm, right? Yeah? But it's entertainment for viewers to listen to that dragging or roasting going on. See, it's okay if you're loyal to that creator to listen to it. The double standards don't work for me. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It absolutely does not work for me. I don't, like I said, I don't even know if I even want to do this anymore. To be in this circle. Because some people have no boundaries. They don't. Put this on pause to let my dogs out and completely forgot where I left off at. So I'm going to do my best here. I see some people that are also being weaponized. I do. And you don't know what their mental health is. And when I say weaponized, like I said, they have a falling out with the creator or, whatever. And in my opinion, they are being used, they're being welcomed, okay, because your opinion on them changed overnight, right? And they are being used to get back at the person that somebody doesn't like. And again, you don't know what their mental health status is or what they're going through in real life. And this all might be too much for them on YouTube. This going back and forth, or they might still have some really deep feelings because the person they had the falling out with, they've had phone calls, okay? They've had deep conversations with these people. And like I said, they might have some really true feelings for them as a friend. So in my opinion, they're being used in this drama community. Because in real life, I already said it, your feelings towards somebody does not switch on and off like a light bulb. It doesn't. All right? We got to use some common sense, and we know that. It does not. People are only doing this, in my opinion, to get back at someone that they don't like. So they're using certain people to do that. To say, haha, I got your person now. I can get information on you from this person. I can get the tea on you. Or they're over in my camp now. How does that feel? And then that person feel like they're being pulled, right? They might have issues going on in real life and they just can't handle it. So if you want to put blame, everybody's to blame. Everybody. You can't put blame on one person. And again, if it's too much on YouTube, we can unplug. We can get off of YouTube. I said before in my one other video that some people don't have family. Some people they can't get out, or they don't have friends. And so I get it with these communities. I get it now. I didn't before, but I get it now. But you can unplug if it gets too much. You can get off YouTube. You can watch TV. And if things are getting too bad, you can reach out to counselors. You can reach out to a crisis line. And you need to. That is so important. We need to get that across. We need to reach out and unplug if things are getting too bad on YouTube. Because it's ugly. It's nasty. It's cutthroat. It's horrible. I have never seen anything like this. I thought the groups were bad. I have never seen anything so bad in my life than this circle right here. This circle. The ugliness, that grown, mostly women, middle-aged mostly, or beyond. The way that they enjoy hurting others is just insane. The way they love to bring kids into it. Holding on to information on somebody's children for months. Why are you holding on to it? If somebody sends you something, I found out that somebody else last night, I just found this out, was sent, or somebody in their research team or whatever was sent stuff on somebody else's child and been holding on to it for months. For what? For what? I've already said before, if you are sent something on somebody's child, minor child, okay? No matter if you like that creator or not, you should contact that creator and let them know and give them everything that was sent to you, and maybe even call out the person that sent it to you, unless you dug in yourself or unless it was your team. You're not going to do that. But why would you hold on to this information on someone else's child? And I'm talking about everybody that has done this. Not one person. Not two people. Okay? Everybody. Why are you holding on to this? These are children. And I am, again, so sick and tired of the children being brought in. You're holding on to it for a reason. And some might say, well, I didn't put it out yet. But you're holding on to it for a reason. There is no reason for you to have any information on anybody else's children in your hands or on your computer. Point blank, period. Get rid of it. Sick people. Absolutely sick. With that, like I said, I like pesky. Always did. All right? I don't flip-flop unless somebody does something that gives me a reason to say, I don't like that person because they're doing this or they're doing that, okay? Showing really horrible, bad behavior. And even if they show some bad behavior, it doesn't mean I don't like them. It's like, yeah, you did some bad behavior there. But I did see a lot of people come together, okay, which is wonderful. They came together in different communities, giving well wishes, trying to reach out. That's what we should see, okay, in in the drama community. No matter if you like that person or not, when something like this happens, any type of tragedy, okay, reaching out or wishing, condolences, well wishes, whatever, that's what adults do. That's where empathy comes in, compassion, something that all of us should have. Put our differences aside for just a little bit. Think about others instead of ourselves. But we cannot put blame on other people for what somebody is doing to themselves. We cannot do that. We can't. We can't do that if somebody did that and say that it's Natasha's fault, okay? Because a lot of people are saying Natasha hurt them. A lot of people are saying this creator has hurt them. I've heard so many people that said K, Critical K, has hurt them. I mean, she's hurt a lot of victims' families, okay? But I'm talking about subs, viewers. But if it gets too much on YouTube, please unplug. Unplug for however long it takes to do so. I mean, you can watch your favorite show, listen to music, if you're able to get out, or if you have friends, reach out. If you have family, reach out to them. If you don't have family, reach out to a crisis hotline. If you don't have friends, reach out to somebody, all right? But not YouTube. And please, for the love of God, be careful who you confide in and give out your private information and talk to. Because we see when you have falling outs, your stuff is being put out there. And this is where we see a lot of turmoil happening. It's not fair to have your private stuff that you think that you're telling to a friend being put out there once you have a fallout. And it's a revolving door in this drama community. It is. I'm gonna go. Guys, mental illness is so real. And I know a lot of people suffer from it. Some sort of mental illness, okay? It is like you hear so many people say they have one thing or another, okay? Just be good to each other, all right? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It really isn't. And we are going to have drama in the drama community, right? We are. But we don't have to sit there and drag somebody in the ground so hard that they don't feel like they can pick themselves back up and put out all their personal information and dig here and dig there. And people want to yell that, they got my stuff off of Facebook. Well, you know what? It's happening on both sides. It happened on both sides, okay? Some people might want to forget. And no, no one should be getting pictures off of Facebook, all right? They shouldn't. Even though it's public, it shouldn't be happening. But it happened to a creator, by another creator. It happened first. But there was no outrage on that. Okay? It needs to stop all the way around. It's just, it's so disgusting. You know, it just seems like some people enjoy, absolutely enjoy the pain of others. I've said that before. I mean, I surely hope this is not what some people are teaching their kids. To hurt others and to get a rise out of it, enjoyment, or to teach their grandkids. I'm going to go on that. I already said I was going to go, but I hope everyone stays safe. And my prayers are still with Pesky, okay? And everybody else out there that are suffering in silence, please reach out. Reach out to somebody. There is plenty of help out there. You just have to want the help. You have to want to help yourself because nobody else can do that for you. So please reach out.